Malaysia has reported its first 2 COVID-19 deaths. The first is a 34-year-old Malaysian man who attended the large religious gathering in Sri Petaling. A 60-year-old Malaysian pastor, meantime, from Kuching, Sarawak, is the second. This comes as a nationwide lockdown is set to begin in the country. For 2 weeks, citizens will not be able to leave Malaysia and visitors will be forbidden from entering. Schools and non-essential businesses will be shut and mass gatherings will be banned. The restriction of movement order includes Malaysians who commute to neighbouring Singapore for work. Now, major supermarket operators have urged Malaysians to avoid panic buying. The appeal comes after shoppers cleared the shelves in some supermarkets, leaving them without bread, rice or eggs.
The 2-week lockdown will have a big impact on Singapore companies that rely on Malaysian workers. Many cross the border every day, and while some say they saw it coming, others have been taken aback with how sudden the measures have been introduced. Chloe Chu has more.
Tremero Racing will be closing for the next 2 weeks. The Superbike Workshops mechanics from Malaysia have decided they'll stay home, despite given the option to remain in Singapore.
I'm very shocked. With my Malaysia people, all the work important, but I need to take care of my family.
Mother, father also old man already. I go and see him. Effect is one is my work law. I also don't know my box when to I work or cannot. Because 20 days I also no money to spend.
And their decision has left the company's director with little choice.
I actually predicted this to come through end of January when COVID-19 actually was prominent. What I was thinking is one fine day, countries will go into lockdowns, but I did not expect it to come out suddenly. It's like yesterday the news break out and today it's already in effect.
He'll use the time to check inventory and clean up the workshop. He hopes that the government can provide rebates on work permit levies in order to help businesses that have a predominantly Malaysian workforce. The mechanics are also hoping that the lockdown won't be extended as they want to continue working in Singapore. Confinement nannies is another service in Singapore that's heavily reliant on Malaysians. Baby's Whisperer says 95% of them come from across the causeway. The company itself has 180 nannies, all Malaysians, and it started contingency plans 2 weeks ago when it noticed the growing number of COVID-19 cases in the country.
So we have actually bring them into Singapore, host them into our hostel in Singapore at Sengkang. Then after that, deploying them to work. We have worked closely with MOM to actually do the relevant paperwork for them to stay on in Singapore to serve our customers.
Food and medical supplies are also provided. And Shelley explains that new inquiries are streaming in as pre-booked nannies from other companies are no longer making the trip. The company adds that it's prepared for this to last till mid-April and has also brought in extra nannies in anticipation of the new bookings.